What's up, guys? So in today's random video, I will be actually holding my camera instead of putting it on a mount. So just trying it out, seeing if I can even, do this multitask. But anyway, so this is super random, but I just recently watched the first Iron Man, the one that came out in 2008, for the third or fourth time. And during the peak of the Omicron, I decided to literally watch all of the Marvel movies and the series in 5 days, and I did do that. And I think I've always been a Marvel fan. Why did I say think? I've always been a Marvel fan. I just haven't been an obsessed Marvel fan, and I've seen all of the movies, but I guess I didn't really pay attention to them, specific details, until that 5-day spree. So anyway, I know there is a chronological order, and then there's the order that the movies just came out in. So technically, Captain America should have been the very first one if you want to go in timeline or chronological order. But I just did it the way that Disney Plus has it set up, because they have them in phases, phase 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so technically Iron Man 2008 came out, and that's the one I want to talk about, because the fact that I watched it this time and there's so many details that I feel like I missed. But anyway, so I think the fact that Iron Man came out first just kind of Stan Lee and then all of the directors and producers, everybody who helped make the movie, the fact that they made Iron Man the very first one just kind of set the standards so high, and then they continued to keep breaking the glass ceilings. I mean, it was so amazing. And the fact that Iron Man basically is in all of the movies, he plays a part in every single one of them, and then he's the reason why this kind of all started, basically, is what I got from it. And I do want to say that I truly love Marvel. I am not a super freak when it comes to Marvel, so for all of you super freaks who are obsessed with it and know everything, every little detail the back of your hand, do not crush me, because I'm just speaking from how I feel about it, and what I can remember. But I do want to talk about it because it was, to me, in my opinion, it was a great way to start all of the Marvel movies, or just Marvel in general. So the fact that Robert Downey Jr. plays Tony Stark is just the perfect actor to play that. Pepper, who's what's her name? It's Virginia Pepper. Gwyneth Paltrow was just, everybody was perfect, and his first basically bad guy that he had to go up against was basically his dad's partner, who ends up becoming his partner for his company. I mean, what a way to freaking start off. And the fact that he gets kidnapped, and his first Iron Man suit, and the fact that he literally, I think in the later in the movie it shows his very first suit, and then what he ends up having at the end. His best friend ends up becoming, I think that's the second Iron Man, but yeah. So I just think it was really just a great way to set up Marvel in general. I love all of the I just love that Tony Stark plays a role in every movie. He's important. They introduce the Black Widow in the first Iron Man. Just I feel like I'm going all over the place and not going in order, but I'm trying to hold my camera, which is heavy, and multitask and try and think of all the things that I want to talk about. But yeah, I know this is super random, but I just want to say that Iron Man is the shit. And then the fact that he is the reason, or he is the person that saves the world, basically. Like, that's what just is just so fascinating, is that he's the start and the end, everything in between. That's who Tony Stark is. That's who Iron Man is. It's so awesome. And then the fact that, you know, there's so many things, not the fact that he's like super, super wealthy, because not everybody's super wealthy, but there are parts of him, like the fact that he doesn't have, you know, the best relationship with, you know, his dad. And that can be so relatable in so many ways to people. And I mean, so, you know, like Stan Lee and just Marvel production just kind of like brings Tony Stark, you know, to a relatable level in some sense. I think the thing that touched me the most, well, obviously, was the fact that he, you know, defeated his partner / you know, first bad guy. You know, the fact that he, instead of, you know, profiting off of, you know, the black market of his weapons, you know, he tries to do the right thing. Obviously, that's how it starts, with doing the right thing. But I think what really, really touched me and what I thought was so great, and that's why I keep looking at my phone over here, is, and I have it like written in my notes. So, you know, because like I said about him and his dad having a really, you know, difficult relationship, but what I think set the bar for him was, and just kind of obviously did a 360, and he was ready to, you know, take on the world, basically, and be a better person no matter what anybody said. But he was watching that film of his dad, and his dad was struggling to film, which also can be relatable. That would be me. He kept like messing up and not knowing the right words to say and stuff like that. So, you know, he's looking at something, and then all of a sudden his dad says, you know, Tony or Anthony or something like that, his full name, or Tony or whatever. And he said, everything, you know, I get that, you know, in my time, you know, technology wasn't, technology was a thing, but he was like before his time. Like, he knew there was so many advances that could be done, I guess. But his time was just not there yet. Technology wise. So, but anyways, he like speaks like to the camera to Tony Stark, or he, you know, and he says, and so that's why I have it on my phone, but he says, what is and what always will be my greatest creation is you. And it hits home in so many ways, because you know, I have a daughter, and that would be something that that, you know, when she, because she's a toddler right now, but, you know, when she becomes of age and completely understands what I'm saying, you know, that would be something that I would want to tell her. Everything that I do day in and day out, you know, since she was born, today and in the future, you know, what I do is I don't want to say is for her, because it's for me and her, but you know, she's always in my mind. She's always, you know, if I make a decision, I think about not just me, but her. And anything, you know, she's my legacy. So when I'm gone, I'm gone. And who I have left is her. And that was a really great moment. And I know that is so random. That's the point of this video, is, you know, just something random that I wanted to discuss. And the fact that Black Widow, again, it was introduced, I'm going to say that again, is amazing. And the fact that Natasha literally fights like 8 to 10 bad guys, and then Happy takes on one guy, and then he's like, I did it, and he like looks up and there's like 10 guys on the floor because Natasha just totally kicked ass. So yeah, that was just like a badass moment right there, and that I definitely wanted to share. I thought it was so funny. But anyway, yeah, I definitely want to talk about more Marvel movies, and like I said, I've watched every single Marvel movie multiple times and all of the series. And so I will make more videos of my opinion about all of them. So stay tuned.